This is what it means to be a #1 fire department in the country, where you are so prepared to manage a fire like this that is interfacing with your city and residents that live right here. And that preparation and all that work over the many years has paid off. This is our third fire this year that was community facing, and we were able to utilize new equipment that we purchased. We have more equipment coming. We do want to say thank you to the residents that were also helping yesterday, and law enforcement that was helping with evacuation and actually holding some of the hoses as well. As the fire moved so quickly. Within 20 minutes, you saw over 100 acres catch fire yesterday, and the crews were managing it extremely well, keeping it away from the homes. And, this is what it means to come together as a community. It was an all hands on deck and led by an extraordinary team of firefighters.
And as for the cost of, cost in taxpayer money, that's always a factor. And
yes,
question
yes.
the spending, but what do you think
well,
about this?
What people don't realize is how many different agencies within the city are a part of a fire like this. You have the Salt Lake City Fire Department, you have the police department, you have public services, you have public utilities, you have open space teams, everyone coming together. And all the more reason that when we are in your neighborhood saying, please do not engage with fireworks in certain neighborhoods, it is because of stuff like this. And we also know that we have some campers in these foothills that have caused some of the fires this year. And so people have to be extremely mindful of how quickly a fire can catch in a drought season like we're having this year.
This morning, coming to look at the damage and take a tour of it, what was your initial reaction when you walked up and saw all of this?
I saw the fire start to kick up while I was at a friend's house in this neighborhood yesterday, and so my wife and I loaded up and we drove around to see what was happening. So it was a very large fire, even within minutes, and this kind of appearance, I think, hopefully, is a reminder to people how careful we must be. And I know that people are still holding on to their fireworks right now. Please do not come into these neighborhoods with your fireworks. Super dangerous territory. And we're very fortunate we didn't lose any lives, but we're also very blessed because our teams were so well prepared to defend this neighborhood from this fire.
A memorable Pioneer Day for the city.
Memorable Pioneer Day for sure. One that won't be forgotten. And gratefully, as neighbors were being hyper alert, they were also finding other people still up here with fireworks last night and having to just talk to them about, look, you saw what happened today, and we cannot run these risks. You cannot be lighting your fireworks.
And you're out here speaking, with the residents today, this morning. What are they telling you? Are they on edge, kind of still thinking that this can pop back up? Are they thanking the firefighters?
I think overnight there was concern that, some flames might kick in again. But this morning, I think people are trying to kind of regroup after what was a very traumatic experience for them. You can see the fire had jumped the road, was heading towards homes right behind here, and you can still see the neighbors' hoses that are hanging down that they were using to fight that fire themselves in concert with our team.
Can you sort of balance how you feel? I mean, there's relief, there's a well-deserved victory lap, but we're not done with the summer.
We are not done with the summer, and our fire restrictions are still in place. We want people to understand that we live in a very dry community right now, and our watershed is at risk. We want to make sure that people understand that this lights up like a piece of newspaper, right? And so no matter what, we cannot be in these neighborhoods with matches of any sort or fireworks of any sort. We need to be very mindful the rest of this year. You can see the devastation, and just being in here and smelling the fire, it's unnerving to know, and to stand right here and know how close this was. We tell people about the 30-foot buffer, and I don't think it's very clear what that means. What it means is we want you to not have shrubs and bushes right out by your home, but more like 30 feet from your home, so that there's that buffer that trees and shrubs and other things aren't catching fire right next to your home. And so we want to make sure people understand that as you're designing your yards, try to move that greenery away from your homes as far as you can.
You said there were other pieces of equipment coming to the fire department. Can you name some of those?
Yeah, do you want to talk about some of the additional equipment pieces coming online?
Sure, we're looking to have additional hose packs, which we use here on fires like this. Okay, they're portable hose packs. We use it to extend lines and to alleviate the water source challenges that we have when we're going up a grade like this. We also are looking to upgrade our auxiliaries, which are our smaller grass wildland apparatus. So we're constantly looking to upgrade those and to turn those over as new. And of course, we're looking at the option of having more reservoirs available and putting them in places where they are readily available to us, where there's no delay in getting them set up and getting water in them so the helicopters can come in and draw the water.
Do you guys have like a timeline for that?
I'd like to see some of those equipment within the next year.
And is that part of the $500,000?
Yes, some of that is, and the water buckets, reservoirs, we sat down and talked about kind of the harsh reality of the year we were looking at, and how every year we are experiencing a drier and drier city, and how we can prepare for that. And all that preparation work is part of why this team has such a high standard that they've been able to live up to in this country. And we're very proud of that, because that makes us a much more resilient community, and it also speaks volumes about how well educated these teams are that are in the field and what they need to do their jobs and do them well.
Is there work that'll have to be done here after this fire, or is it just wait for stuff to grow back? I don't know.
Yeah, naturally things will grow back as time goes by, and in fact next year when you see this, you won't hardly notice this fire space. Some of it you will still see, but the earth will replenish itself very quickly.
But it's not something you have to worry about in terms of when it rains or whatever.
No, I don't think so. We're not anticipating mudslides or anything like that, if that's what you're wondering. We as a group will kind of debrief around this and dialogue to see if there are any additional factors that need to be taken into account as we assess all this land and what happened to it.
Last thing, I know we keep harping on this, but just one last message to people about fireworks and safety.
Yes. This is a year where we cannot afford any risks with fire or fireworks. And so please, everyone, do not take your fireworks into neighborhoods where there are restrictions. The restrictions are anything above, I think, 13th East,
Or is it South Temple?
South Temple.
South Temple.
Everything north of South Temple and everything above 13th East, 9th East.
9th East.
Is off limits for fireworks this year and open fires outside. So please do not engage in fire in those neighborhoods, please. Thank you.
The chief said you don't know what started this one quite yet, but we're mentioning fireworks, we're mentioning campers and their fires.
Yes.
Is there anything the city might be doing to mitigate potential ones, like in
Sure.
the next couple weeks?
Yeah, so, law enforcement has been going out with teams of people into the foothills, talking to campers, trying to connect them with resources and get them out of these areas, but also reminding them too, please do not start fires out here. And we have some camera technology that we use at night to see if we can see there are fires happening, and then we can engage in that way as well. So we are working very diligently around the clock to mitigate fires. And I know we have avoided many, but we always know there are risks, and we are very grateful to those who are working with us to not engage in lighting fires or fireworks in areas like this. But we know there's more work to be done, and we will continue to message with people in the community throughout the summer.